Okay, experiments. So experiments are really the reason that makes science work and the thing that makes it kind of fun and interesting to do. So we're going to try to get you to do as many experiments as you can. Some of them you're going to have to do on your own. But key thing for me, though, is the experiments really aren't too complex, right? You don't need a particle accelerator to do experiments. And you can do really simple experiments and learn some interesting things about the world around you, about yourself, or about your friends, or whatever it is that you're interested in. So I'm going to try to get you to do some experiments. This first one is just for fun, so it's not specifically chemistry related, but to get you to think about doing experiments and drawing conclusions. So you should be able to see something that looks like this. So this is a simulation that's found on Explorer Learning. They're called gizmos as well. And all it is a reaction time, right? So I'm going to hit the start button, and it's going to show me a red dot. And when I see the red dot, I want to click. And depending on how long it takes me to click, it measures it. So red dot, click in the gray area. Red dot, click in the gray area. And if you click extra times, bad on you. But you can, and if you want, you can just keep clicking, right? Oh, look, I got it right. I hit it, right? So not as much fun, so you don't really measure anything at that point. It's just how fast you can click in a row. Right, so it'll do this 10 times, and then it'll tell you some results here. So here are the results that we're looking at. So I've done this 10 times, and on average, mean it took me from half a second to click. The standard deviation, we'll get into standard deviation a little bit later, but it's a measure of how widespread the answers were. And then it also gives you extraneous mouse clicks, right? So 22 times I was just clicking for the heck of it, so that's not good. So anyway, all this is the measuring device, and all you need for an experiment really is something that you can measure, and then something that you're going to change, right? What do you want to compare it to, right? So I could try, my left hand versus my right hand, right? Or something like that, or a hand versus a foot, right? So you can come up with your own experiment, and I'm going to ask you to do that. So find something that you're going to compare. This is your measuring device, right? So you've got something which is remarkably accurate, right? So 3 digits, and come up with your own experiment, and then tell us about it. That's all this assignment is about. And if you're struggling, email your teacher, or email me. So I'm happy to help you get started on it. And the idea is that it should be something that's interesting. So compare to your neighbors or your cat, or I don't know, whatever you can think of, like stand on your head and do it. But see what you can compare and see if you can come up with an experiment, and then just take a few minutes and write that up and send this in. So this is a completion project. So completion projects in this class mean that as long as you give it a reasonable effort, I'll give you full credit. And if you don't give it a reasonable effort, I'm going to send it back to you and ask you to do it again. So there is no partial credit on this one. So either you do a good job and you get it all, or you don't. So it's intended to be less stressful. So think about something that you think is interesting, and then test it and tell me about it. So some specifics are in the write-up. So I encourage you, require that you follow that write-up and send it in to me. And look forward to seeing what you come up with. Thanks. Bye.